Hello to all of my beautiful people out there. Thank you so much for joining. Let me check real quick for my Facebook and make sure I am good there. Hold on. Uh-oh. I don't see it on Facebook. Y'all will have to let me know. Let's see. All right, I see what I got to do. Y'all have to let me know on Facebook. I know I was having some issues with Facebook. I apologize, guys, if y'all are not seeing me at this time on Facebook. If you are not, I will have to try and put it up there at a later time. Let me see. I'm going to see if I can do it. Okay, I see it now. I guess it was just a delay. All right. But I know I was having some issues with Facebook earlier this week. All right, so now that is all taken care of, hold on, let me double check. Y'all, I'm sorry. Let me double check one other thing, and then we are going to get into it. I hope everyone has been having a wonderful week. All right, let's see. This is the last thing I need to check to make sure everything runs smoothly. All right. Okay. I think I'm good now. All right. So, what's up out there to all of my fellow gold diggers? This is your girl, Rita, also known as the self-proclaimed gold digger. If this is your first time to my channel, welcome. I am so glad to have you. If you are a fellow gold digger, welcome back. Y'all know I love and I appreciate each and every one of you. Okay, so tonight's topic for Tipsy Tuesday, we are going to be continuing our discussion from last week where we were talking about making sure that you are pouring into yourself, basically talking about self-care and helping you to identify some ways that you can better take care of yourself, as well as identify the things that bring you joy, as well as identify the things that kind of drain your energy or take away from you so that you can be your best self. So I am going to do a recap of what we had talked about last week and then get into the new tips that I have for this week as well. Before I do that, I do have a couple of church announcements for you guys. So hopefully you have checked out the No Spin Challenge because it is our No Spin Challenge week. This is day 3 of the No Spin Challenge. Let me know how it's going. If you are participating in that, I would love to hear some feedback from y'all regarding that. It's been going okay with me. It's been a little bit of a struggle. So the No Spin Challenge is still going on, and that will be until Saturday. Also, I hope y'all it's Black History Month. So last time when we were on, we were still in the month of January. So happy February and happy Black History Month. This is also my birthday month. So I hope y'all have been enjoying the Black History post as well, and just educating yourself more about the history of Black people and how they have impacted America, this country, as well as all over the world. So please be sure to check it out. Thank you to everyone who has given me feedback regarding that. I really and truly do appreciate that as well. And I'm going to try to continue to post for the remainder of the month, like I usually try to do, in spite of me having a busy schedule. So check out the Black History Month post And also, I hope y'all will be joining me with the book challenge and let me know how that's going. Your girl has been struggling a little bit with her book challenge, but we are still reading and we are still plugging along. All right. So those were your church announcements. Now that we got that out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and get into the Tipsy Tuesday song so that we can get into our topic for this evening. All right, here we go. And y'all, I have done it enough. So if you know the song, go ahead and sing along with me. All right, here we go. Tip to Tipsy Tuesday. Tip to Tipsy Tuesday. Tip to Tipsy Tuesday. Get your tips and pass the dues. Say tip to Tipsy Tuesday. All right, that is your official welcome introduction. Tonight, I am just drinking water. Your girl has been very slack-a-lacking on her water intake, and I've been doing bad. I actually started back drinking sodas, and I did not have a soda in like a few months, and so I'm hoping it doesn't cause my face to break out or anything like that. But I'm about to start drinking back the water, so that's all I'm sipping on tonight is some water. All right, so real quick, just a quick recap of last week. Last week we talked about, hey, you want to make sure you're taking care of yourself in multiple ways. Oftentimes when people talk about self-care, making sure you're pouring back into yourself and things of that nature, it's usually focused more on like the physical things that you are doing, like getting a massage, taking a vacation, relaxing, or something like that, getting a facial. But you want to make sure you're pouring into yourself both physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually so that you can be your best self and make sure that you are taking care of yourself in the best ways possible. And y'all know I'm big on making sure you have the right mindset. So part of that, when you take care of yourself, it helps you to be focused and have a positive mindset so that you can do the things that are going to be most beneficial to you. So last week we talked about, y'all, hold on. Ooh, okay. Last week we did 10 things. All right. Well, really it was like 9. But anyway, so the first thing was, and that is what I'm doing now, drink your water and get your rest. Practice gratitude was number 2. We talked about having a routine. Next, we talked about making time for things that bring you joy. Then we talked about exercising and eating healthy. I know some of these things go without saying. A lot of these things we know we should do. We just don't make time to do them and everything. The next one was get some sun. The following one was create peaceful moments as well as make your home into an oasis. And number 8 was take some time to breathe. And the last one I had was to be productive, get a hobby. Did I do that one? I think, yeah, I did. Be productive, get a hobby or a side hustle, okay? So that you can make sure you are pouring back into yourself. Now, before I go into the next set of tips that I have when it comes to self-care and everything, I want to talk briefly about the benefits of what happens when you actually take some time and take care of yourself, when you actually take some time and pour back into yourself. Not only does it put you like in a better mood, you can be more productive and just be a better person. And when I say be a better person, that means like you can be a better spouse or significant other, a better mom, dad, that kind of thing. When you are operating at your best self, it is reflective in everything that you do. And with that, you're able to be a better version of yourself to the people that you know and love, as well as to the people that are depending on you on a regular basis. Like maybe you're not as grumpy and grouchy. Maybe you don't have an attitude and stuff like that, because it's really important for you to take care of yourself so that you can treat other people, in the best way possible, because you're already feeling your very best. So we really want to make sure that we are doing these things so that we can be very productive in our local communities, in our own homes, and that kind of thing, just so we can be our best self. So self-care is not just beneficial just to you, it's going to benefit your whole ecosystem when you are functioning at your very best. Okay. So let's go ahead and talk about the next set of tips that I have for you. All right. And I think I am, we'll see. It's about, like I said, some of them I might combine as well. So the first tip for tonight that I have for you, and like I said, also let me make sure I don't have any comments or anything like that. Also, let me know if what self-care tips that you are doing. If you are doing some of these things, what are your best self-care practices that you already are implementing with yourself? Let me know if any of these things resonate with you. All right, so first thing for tonight is to pamper yourself. Oftentimes, when people talk about self-care, this is like the first thing that they talk about. Like, make sure you're pampering yourself, whether that is, getting a bubble bath, getting a massage, getting a facial, just taking some time to like dress up, look nice, take yourself out on a date, to dinner, lunch, brunch, something fun. Go on a vacation if you need to, or a staycation. So do something where you are pampering yourself so that you are just breaking up the day-to-day stuff of what or the monotony of what you do, so that you can actually focus and reflect on yourself. So that was number one. Number two that I have for tonight, and I got to put a little pin so I can keep up with everything, is, take some time to have fun. Sometimes we get caught up in, going to work, coming home, going to work, coming home, to have some fun. And sometimes as I'm getting older, what that means is I got to schedule fun in. And I know that sounds boring and stuff like that, but you got to make some time to have fun. Like, hey, I've been working too much, this weekend, I'm definitely making plans where I am not going to be sitting in the house. I'm actually going to go out and do something. So sometimes you have to do that, especially when you get caught up in a routine or you get caught up with taking care of other people. You need to make sure you are scheduling some time to have some fun and have a good time. And it's something that you want to do, not something that somebody else kind of like dragged you into doing or something like that. Something you actually look forward to doing. So have some fun. Next tip that I have is to get off social media. Social media can suck up so much time. And then you are sitting there scrolling. You might be seeing, depending on what's on your timeline, you might be seeing positive stuff. You might be seeing negative stuff. You might be seeing stuff where it's like you're comparing yourself to other people. And then you get sucked up into this comparison, or you get sucked up into drama that you don't need to be depositing into your thoughts or whatever. You can waste so much time on social media. So when it comes to pampering yourself, make sure you get off social media. Now, I won't say I have no problems with doing this, but I'm not really on social media a whole lot, other than when y'all see me posting and stuff like that. I usually say I post and I ghost. After I post my stuff, I might hang around for a little bit, but then soon I'm off because I got other stuff to do. I also don't want to get caught up in any type of negativity. Not saying people are negative, but it's some of this stuff. It just be ridiculous. Some of the stuff that I see on social media, I'm like, what in the world? And sometimes you can get consumed by that stuff, and then you realize that you are not being productive at all. Just because, because you're spending so much time on social media, but two, you're not being productive in like your own life, because the stuff you're consuming is just a bunch of foolishness. So you can't even be creative like you need to be, because you're not making the right deposits into your mind, because it's just stuff that is irrelevant and does not serve any purpose, or is not very beneficial to you. So I try to make sure try and tailor my social media stuff to stuff that is going to be a positive, stuff that is going to be uplifting. Now, of course, like I said, I see some crazy stuff on there from time to time, but I don't want a whole bunch of negativity. I don't want to see a whole bunch of foolishness. I want positive, encouraging stuff. And that is usually the accounts that I follow, that usually offer that stuff on a regular basis, versus the ones that just offer plain foolishness, okay? Because I can't deal with it. And I am trying to go to another level. I'm trying to accomplish many things, and I need to make sure I'm depositing the right things into my thoughts so that I can be the best version of myself. So that's all I'm going to say about social media. Get off social media from time to time, unless you're watching like my videos or something like that. And hopefully y'all will find that my videos and the stuff that I post is hopefully mostly positive or encouraging or beneficial to you, because ultimately that is my main goal, is that you can find something helpful from the things that I am posting. All right, guys. So the next thing I have is to read a book. Y'all know we talked about the book challenge. Y'all know I love a good book. Now, I don't have as much time to read books, even though I'm on, my goal is to read 52 books in a year. I shared with y'all, I'm not physically reading the books. I'm listening to them on audio. So I usually do consume my books through audio and stuff like that. But read a book. I'm big on nonfiction. I love self-development books, self-help books, things of that nature. But every now and then, I won't say every now and then, but I have to break it up, and I do enjoy a good like fiction novel, that kind of thing, something that's just for fun, not necessarily something that's always going to be like self-development or self-help. So I do that. And I try to also, in regards to reading a book, other things you can do are just listening to positive podcasts that can enrich you, as well as a form of self-care too, or even just like a funny podcast or something that makes you laugh, something that just kind of takes your mind away from the things that you have going on and puts you in a positive mood or in a better mood. So I'm big on reading books, listening to podcasts, and just doing those kinds of activities. I hardly ever watch TV. Like I watched TV for the first time in probably since last year, just this weekend, and it was good. But y'all, it was like the History Channel. So because I love a good documentary as well. So yeah, make some time, read some books, listen to podcasts, do something that is going to make you happy, bring you joy, and hopefully enrich your life. So that's what I find when I read my books. Now, the next tip that I have, number 5, when it comes to self-care, this is a big one, y'all. Very, very, very important. And that is to set boundaries. Whew. You've heard it before, but I'm going to say it now. No is a complete sentence. So you have to set boundaries when it comes to your time, when it comes to the things that you are willing to commit to, the activities that you're going to do, because people will pull you in all different kinds of directions. And you might find yourself doing stuff that you really had no business doing, wasn't planning on doing, but now you got sucked into this and now you're doing that. So I'm big on setting boundaries and being protective of my time, being protective of who I spend time with, as well as who I associate with. I'm protective when it comes to setting boundaries on the things that I plan on committing to. So in part, and it all goes back to my time. And I know I've said this multiple times on here. I do not like for my time to be wasted. You can waste my money. Well, I don't want you to waste my money, but even if I'd rather you waste my money than waste my time, because my time is so valuable to me. Time is something that you can't get back. And so I'm big on setting boundaries so that I'm not wasting my time doing things that I should not be doing, or spending time with people that I shouldn't be spending time with, or doing foolishness that, really shouldn't be doing. So setting boundaries, I try not to over commit myself. I know I'm always moving and doing stuff as well, but I'm very strategic and committed to the things that I do commit my time and my attention to. So if I'm doing something, that I'm very passionate about, it's something that is near and dear to my heart, something that I'm committed to, because I'm not just wasting my time doing stuff. I I don't like to participate in stuff just because everybody else is participating in it. I don't like to participate in stuff just because like a whole bunch of people gonna be there. It's like if it's not something that is important to me or something that I feel passionate about or I feel drawn to or committed to, I'm gonna set my boundaries and be like, no, I'm not available. And even when it comes to um just when and even the things that I am committed to, even when the times that I am available for that, I usually try to time block my schedule. So it's like if I have allocated, I don't know, from 8 to 10 to focus on this, guess what? I might not answer a phone call during that time because I have time blocked this. That is the boundary that I have set. I need to be focused on this. I'm not focusing on anything else. And then at another time or at a time that is more beneficial to me, then I might answer a phone call, return a text, respond to an email, something like that. But I try not to let myself be pulled in a whole bunch of different directions just because it's happening right now. Because I already have stuff on my agenda that I need to be focused on and working towards. Okay. And I know my friends and family, they joke about like if they ever need to get in contact with me, they they can't get in contact with me, or it's better to reach out to my husband versus me. And it's just because I'm very protective of my time, especially if it's not something that's important. It can wait. It can wait an hour. It can wait 2 hours. It can wait to the end of the day. And then when I have the time that I've allocated for such things, then I will respond to whatever requires my attention. So I'm big on boundaries in my life. So that's all I'm going to say about that. I think I've said enough about that. All right, let's see. Any comments? Y'all are quiet tonight. Y'all let me know if anything resonates with you guys. I have a few others that I'm going to quickly go over with you guys. These were some other things. Now, these are everything I've listed so far are things that I try to do on a regular basis. This next set of stuff is not stuff that I'm doing on a regular basis or stuff that I'm going to try to incorporate into my self-care routine and see if I can do that for this year. So the first thing is doing meditation. I have not done that. It's probably been like maybe I want to say the last time I meditated was like before the pandemic. So it's been a while since I've done that. But I know that is a good way to get centered, to get focused, to kind of like just relieve stress that you might be experiencing. But I have not done that in a while. But I know it is a good practice for people to do in terms of self-care. Now, I can't say I'm probably going to incorporate that back into my routine. Me and God gonna have to pray on that one. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. The next thing that can be beneficial in self-care. Now, this one is a slippery slope. So I was hesitant to put this on here just because some of us are overachievers. But sometimes the best way, I won't say the best way, a good way to feel better or to make sure you're taking care of yourself is just by being generous and giving back. So by volunteering. Now, some of us overcommit when it comes to volunteering. I know myself personally, I had to pull back from some of my volunteer efforts because I'm like, this is starting to become too much like a job and it feels like work. And I don't feel that same passion that I had initially when I first started volunteering. So I had to pull back and make sure, because God loves a cheerful giver. I'm not trying to be doing nothing begrudgingly or anything like that. I'm trying to do it with the right spirit. But when I am operating in the right spirit and I do want to give back and pour back into someone, it makes me feel better just because I'm helping someone else, or I'm just able to do something nice for someone else. And sometimes, and it's like I don't know, for me, I like being able to help other people. So I like when other people can benefit from stuff. But at the same time, I don't want nobody draining me. Now, like I said, going back to those boundaries, once it starts feeling like it's a drain, then the boundaries come up real quick or whatever. But I do like being able to give back. I do like being able to volunteer. But I have to, with the right spirit, so that I don't get overwhelmed or anything like that. The next tip that I have to kind of help with self-care is to declutter. I did this was it last year? It was either last year or the year before. Our garage was a whole mess. Now we need to do it again because it's a whole mess again. But I operate better when my space is neat and clean. Now I say that and I laugh because if you ask my husband, I'm like I'm messy. I'm messy in general and stuff like that. And he's always getting on me about being messy. But I operate best when everything is in its right place, everything is in order. And I don't know, the vibe is just soothing and calming and relaxing for me. But yeah, if it wasn't, I live like somebody who's single, really, because I'll have my stuff all over the place or whatever, and then I have to go back and pick it up. But decluttering helps me to feel less stress, and it's a form of self-care. Also, I remember in college, like I said, I was messy. I was messy in college and stuff like that. And like I couldn't study in my room because it was so messy. I would always have to go and study somewhere else because it felt like my mind was cluttered if I was in a cluttered room. And that's still true today. So it's like I have to go to a space where it's nice, fresh, so my thoughts can be nice and fresh, and I can do the things that I need to do and everything. So make sure you declutter your space. If you declutter your space, it might also declutter your mind. But yes. The next thing I have is, and I want to make sure I emphasize the next couple of things. If you feel like, and if you feel like, hey, I can't find a way to kind of pour into myself, or I'm just in a place where I just don't feel right, or I don't feel my best, and it's not just a mood that you're having, it's not just like a season that you're going through, it's not just like something situational. Make sure you seek help, like through therapy, someone you can talk to, so that you can really try and process those emotions and those things that you are feeling, so that it doesn't continue to weigh you down and put you in a space that you don't need to be in. So I must emphasize that. Make sure you seek therapy for when you are having a hard time, or you're going through a difficult situation and you're not feeling like your best self. You are not alone. We all go through these things, and it does help when you talk to someone else who can give you a fresh perspective about your situation. Okay. So just remember that. So if you've tried all the stuff on your own, you might need to seek out someone else and talk with them, so that it can help you feel better and get back to the person that you want to be. The next one I have is to create a don't list or a don't do list. So everybody, including me, I have like a to-do list of all the things that I need to do. But you might need to create a don't do list. Now, I didn't realize I was actually doing this, but there are some things I don't do no more. It's on that don't do list. Like, you will not, it's the thing, like, it's like, you will not find me doing X, Y, and Z. That, as I've gotten older, that is some of the things like, I ain't got time to fool up with and do this or be out there doing that. So create a don't do list. And sometimes that don't do list might be things that's part of your regular everyday. So I haven't gotten to this level yet, but I don't really, well, my kids will tell you, I don't really cook like I used to. I remember I used to spend time cooking the meals, all that kind of stuff. Now you will catch me in rare form cooking a good meal for them. So they know how to cook. They know how to make their stuff. My daughter, she actually made us a wonderful meal. What was it? This past Sunday, I think it was, a wonderful meal. So it's like certain things I'm not doing anymore. I don't do the dishes anymore, especially with my kids. I don't do their laundry anymore. It's like certain things I'm not wasting my time in doing them because it takes up too much of my time, and I could be using my time on other stuff. Now, I would love for us to have someone to cook us some meals, and hopefully, maybe this year we can have someone come in and be able to do that for us, so that we can actually be eating healthy and stuff, and not just eating stuff on the go. But there are certain things I don't do anymore because I have realized, going back to like setting boundaries, like how valuable my time is. And that's not to say these things aren't important, and that's not to say these things aren't needed, but it's like I'm not gonna be doing them. Someone else is gonna have to do them because you will get burnt out. Like literally, you will get burnt out. And I think that's what happens to, and I'm speaking from my own perspective, but I think that's what happens to a lot of women who have children and who are married, and we are trying to take care of our household. We are trying to take care of our children. We are trying to take care of our husbands, and we're trying to do all the things and be the best wife, mom to all these people. And you look up and you're like, I'm the worst version to myself. I'm being the best version to these people, to everyone else but myself. So I've gotten to the point where it's like, I'm not going to keep burning myself out. I'm not going to keep doing certain things because it drains me. It takes away from my energy. And there are other things that I need to be focused on, especially with me having my own business. Like there is a mental capacity that comes with that is just, you will not believe. It's like astronomical. So I can't focus on some of these other little tasks, and things will get forgotten. And the reason why is because I'm just focused on other things. So I don't have the time to even, I won't say waste, but I don't have the time to even devote to these things that are just kind of everyday stuff for someone who is a mom. Now, that's not to say some people love doing those things. I told y'all before, I'm not that person. I don't like to cook. I will cook. I know how to cook, and I cook good. But do I enjoy cooking? No. But there was a time where it's like I thought I had to do all of this stuff to be like the best mom, best wife, and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, you know what? This ain't me. Like, this is not me. I'm not doing this. I did not sign up for this. Like me and my best friend will be talking, be like, I did not sign up for this. Like this was not on the registration form at all. So I just stopped doing it. Let's see. Thank y'all. I see I've been talking. Let me see some of the excuse me, some of the comments. And Ken, good to see you. She says hello. And then she says, I wish I could stop cooking. I'm in that kitchen daily. Girl, I stopped. And then what ticked me off too is like I would spend time, like I said, I do not like cooking at all. So I would try and I don't want to stand in front of the stove, none of that stuff. Like I said, and everybody thinks if you don't want to cook, it's because you can't cook. And that's not it. Cooking is not my ministry, apparently, but I'm gifted in it, but it's not my ministry. So I would spend all this time because cooking. This is my issue with cooking. Cooking takes a long time. You spend all that time cooking, especially like if it's like a big meal or whatever, all for it to be eaten and devoured in like 10 minutes or less. If it's my kids, it's like, man, I'm gonna spend an hour and in 10 minutes it's gone. And then you still got to do it again. And then you got to, then there's dishes to wash, and then there's stuff to put up. And it's like, then if they had the audacity to say, well, I didn't want this, I wanted that. Like, this is not a restaurant. You are going to eat what you are served. Like that would be what would tick me off when it came to some of the cooking. Like I done spent all this time, or, they'll be like, well, I ate something at school and now I'm not hungry. And I'm like, I would have known that. I wouldn't even wasted my time doing all this. So, but yeah, but maybe one day, but maybe hopefully you like cooking and can. And let's see. Kiki Jefferson. Kiki, welcome. This is my first time seeing your name. So thank you so much for joining. And she says, I told my family paper plates on the weekends. I only cook every other day. Make a sandwich. That's right. Yes. They can make sandwiches. They can make some cereal. You better scramble some eggs. Do something because it's not going to be it's not going to be me cooking at all. And that's why now I will say I have not bought paper plates in like years because I do like eating off of like regular dishes, but I don't wash those dishes. The kids, that's their job now, especially since they are teenagers. So just like when they were younger and they would use like every spoon, fork, cup, plate in the house, that's how I feel. I get something to eat. If I want to get a new plate or whatever, because I'm not washing the dishes. And then they'll be fussing at me like, you had to get another dish. I did. Just like y'all had to get another dish back in the day and wanted to eat something new on it. I did. I had to get a fresh plate. No, I'm not rinsing it off. That's your job for you to do. So yeah, so they do that. They wash the dishes. They wash their clothes and stuff like that. And even now they're to the point where sometimes I'll be in a good mood. They'll be like, oh, you want me to wash your clothes? And they'll be like, no, Mom, I don't want you washing my clothes. I'm like, okay. So, but anyway. And then Aunt Kim was just commenting, make a sandwich, and Kiki was laughing. And then Aunt Kim says, and I hate it when they ask what we gonna eat. Yes, they don't stop asking because they already know now. Like it will not be me. Like I said, every now and then the mood will hit me and I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna cook something or whatever. But oftentimes I don't really have the time. So if I do cook something, usually it's something I can throw into the oven where I don't have to like sit there or stand there, I should say, and wait for it to be cooked. But I think what really caused me to stop was maybe a couple of years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. I was like, I want to see healthy. And I was realizing, hey, I don't have the time to cook like I used to before. Like if I'm going to be honest, I really didn't have the time to cook before. Like some days I wouldn't even get home till like 6:30, 7 o'clock. And then, you still expected to cook something or whatever. So a couple of years ago, I had actually got like this food service or whatever, where they prepared your meals and you would pick up your meals like once a week. And they weren't healthy meals or whatever. And so I got enough for our family. Guess who was the only person eating the daggone meals? It was me. They talking about they didn't like the food. And the food I thought it was good. I thought it was okay. But they did not eat the food, including my husband. And I got so ticked off. And when I say ticked off, I was like, okay, I done wasted my money getting y'all this food. Like probably we did it for, I don't know, for 3 or 4 months or something like that. And finally, I just stopped. So I was like, you know what? At that point, y'all are on your own. If y'all not even eating the food that I took time out to cook sometimes, and now you're not eating the food that I've had somebody, and I'm paid money for somebody to prepare. I'm like, y'all on your own. Y'all can fend for yourselves because it ain't gonna be me. It ain't gonna be me cooking. So I think that was my last straw. I'm like, I've done all that I can do, and I'm not going to do anymore. And Ken says, my friend told me I'm a short order cook. So I feel you. I'm so glad those days are behind me. So you do not like cooking. Well, hopefully it'll get better. I don't know how old your kids are, and Ken, but hopefully as they get older, they'll cook more. Like now, my daughter, she likes, I don't say she likes cooking. She likes trying new stuff or cooking new stuff. So that's why she's probably cooked more than me in this past year than I actually have, just because she likes trying new stuff. But yeah, so create a don't do list. So That's what I have. And that leads me into the next tip, which is delegate and outsource tasks to free up your time so you're less stressed. So, like I said, maybe I would love it for someone to actually come in and cook, but cook us some meals. But I don't know, since I kind of dibbled in that a few years ago, it didn't really turn out well. But we'll see. The only different with the food company I used before, I didn't really have a choice in what I was on what they made. Like you could choose, like, hey, if you wanted chicken or beef or something like that, but the actual entree or whatever that they made and the sides and stuff like that, like you could say if you had allergies or if you wanted something like vegan or something like that, but you really didn't, you could choose a la carte or whatever, but for like the subscription you were just like, okay, I'm gonna get 8 meals or whatever and I want chicken and beef, and they just made whatever they made for the week, so you really didn't know what you were getting. Now as I'm looking into it, I would if I got someone to come in and cook, I would want them to like do the grocery shopping and stuff like that, and then come up with meals like specifically for us that we would like to eat and stuff. And then also when it comes to like outsourcing tasks, whether it's having someone come in and clean or I don't know, like I said, I had someone declutter. I had someone, and this is what I'm going to be looking into as well. It felt so good when I had someone come in and clean, and I've done that a few times here and there. Like if there was some, I won't say big event, but if we had something going on, the last time I had it done was when or right before my daughter's birthday, and just having someone come in and clean the house, and I didn't have to worry about doing that, and having someone come in and clean the carpets, and I don't have to pull out the little carpet cleaner and do all that kind of stuff, and just had them do it. That was a good feeling. And I would love for that to be done on a regular basis too. So I'm gonna be looking into that as well. So that's just one less thing that I have to do as well. So that was that tip. And then the last one that I'm going to share, and it kind of goes into what I mentioned before. Just create a schedule for yourself where you are scheduling your self-care so that you are taking care of yourself. I used to go and get a facial done on a regular basis, go and get a massage done on a regular basis. Now I've gotten away from that. Even my time has gotten tight with that. And then, but just schedule it in, make it part of your routine instead of, oftentimes what ends up happening, we do the self-care once we've already gotten burnt out or we've reached our point of exhaustion. But if you have something that you're looking forward to, like, hey, I don't know, like every third weekend is my weekend where I take care of myself. If you just had that on your calendar and you knew the third weekend of the month, y'all gonna have to figure it out, because this is my weekend where I do something special and nice for me, and just make it something reoccurring so that it's something that you look forward to and you know is coming up, and it's just something you're doing on a regular basis. Because we really do need to take care of yourself. And as I mentioned earlier, before I went into the tips, it really, once I started doing that and taking care of myself, it was like so beneficial. Like literally the other week, even I'm taking, like, I don't work as much as I used to, like in terms of like my day off and things of that nature, like taking a day off. And I had someone to tell me, like, you look so much different. Like, you look so much different. Ever since you started taking a day off, you look different. And I was like, I guess it's because I'm not as stressed as I used to be or whatever. And so it really does make a difference in health-wise, in your appearance, in your mood. And I just feel like I'm in a better mood. I don't feel as tired as I was when I was trying to do everything, because I guess because I'm not doing everything. And you can really just, it just allows me to really be able to focus on myself and, you know, be be able to pour into other people because I've already poured into myself. So I hope that is what y'all will be able to achieve from being able to take care of yourself and do it on a regular and a consistent basis and not just when you're all burnt out. Okay. All right, guys. I have gone on a little bit longer than I thought because it's already coming upon almost 45 minutes. And Ancan says, excellent idea. I'm not sure which one was the excellent idea. Maybe was it the maid getting somebody to help clean? I don't know. But or creating a schedule for yourself. So when it comes to your self-care. But yeah, so hopefully y'all will take these tips and incorporate it, especially since we're still at the beginning of the year. I don't want us to be all burnt out by the middle of the year. I want us to be healthy, vibrant, our best selves. So thank y'all so much for joining. Until next time, I will be back next Tuesday with a different topic. Okay, I see scheduling self-care. Okay, perfect. Yes. So yeah, and you gotta let me know when is your self-care day or your self-care weekend or your self-care routine that you do on a regular basis. Real quick, I'll just share. Ever since I started, one of my things that I find that I like doing, and I'm really surprised that I like doing it. Like I didn't think this was gonna bring me so much joy and happiness, is just making sure like I'm just doing like my skincare routine. Like the fact that I'll make sure that I wash my face in the morning or wash it at night. Just I don't know. It's just something about it. It's like it makes me feel. It makes me feel happy. It makes me feel refreshed and stuff. And I really didn't think I would feel that way just from washing my face. I really didn't think that. So sometimes I won't say if it's been a rough day or something for me, once I do that, it's like it didn't even, I won't say it didn't matter, but I feel better about the day because I don't know, I guess because I washed my face. I was really surprised that just washing my face would help brighten my mood. So you never know what little thing it might be that actually brings you even more joy and everything. But all right. Thank y'all so much. Until next time, take care, everyone.